California Republicans have been ordered by the state Secretary of State to remove the illegal and unofficial ballot boxes that have popped up all over the state. Alex Padilla, the California Secretary of State, was quoted as saying that these unauthorized drop boxes are a disservice to state and local election administrators who have spent months working on the placement and deployment of official ballot drop boxes. The Los Angeles District Attorney is also investigating these boxes. California state law does not allow for the use of unauthorized vote by mail ballot drop boxes. Only county election officials have the authority to oversee drop boxes and ensure that they're in compliance with the law. So there is some worry that the state's Republican Party will not follow suit and will not listen to this order. And what they're arguing is that this is no different from the ballot harvesting that the state of California essentially expanded in right before the 2018 midterm elections, but it is different. So in California, ballot harvesting can be done by an individual who isn't even in your family. So that's how they expanded that law. But it's different, it's actually pretty heavily regulated, whereas these unofficial ballot boxes aren't. You don't know where they're gonna end up and it could cause a problem. And so those returning ballots must properly sign for those voters' ballots and follow the legal procedures to safely return them, and setting up unauthorized and unmonitored third-party drop boxes to collect ballots is not legal in California. So there's a process. If you're harvesting ballots, there is a process in place to ensure that it's done safely and that people, don't do something illegal or shady. With these unofficial ballot boxes, they're unregulated, and the Secretary of State has good reason to not allow it. It is illegal, period.
So these are the same Republicans who are constantly complaining about ballot harvesting. Oh my God, we're gonna have mail-in problems, the fraud because of ballot harvesting. And ballot harvesting is when you pick up someone else's ballot and bring it in. So what's the reality? Always think about it, well, what if the shoe was on the other foot, right? So if you follow the law and you set up places to drop off mail-in ballots, or if you're following the letter of the law in picking up ballots, I think collecting ballots is fine, especially if you're doing it within your own party. Here's what I have a problem with. One, don't go outside of the law, whether you're a Democrat or a Republican. And so in this case, they clearly did. And one of the things that drives me crazy is we have official drop-off places in California. They labeled their unofficial pickups as official. Well, that's, right. I mean, no, that's unacceptable. And so, and then the second thing is, do I trust Republicans to pick up Democratic ballots? Hell no, no way, no way. I think there's an above 50% chance that they trash them rather than turn them in. The Republicans, through deep experience, it's not bias. We've now shown you hundreds of stories where they cheat. In my experience, based on all of the things that we've covered, the Republicans are crooks. So they're much more likely to destroy ballots than turn them in. Let alone, Democrats are scared of their own shadow. I'd be shocked if any of them destroyed ballots, and if they did, I'd want them in jail. But we've seen Republicans do it countless times. That's why we don't trust them.
Right, and the ballot drop-off boxes, again, there's a process in place. It's regulated, and so you're obviously way less likely to be concerned about what ends up happening to that ballot. In this case, since those ballot boxes were marked as official ballot boxes, it was a problem because if you are a voter, you're completely unaware that it's an unofficial ballot box that's been placed by the state's Republican Party. That's a problem. And to your point about ballot harvesting, Cenk, earlier Donald Trump had tweeted, that he absolutely disagreed with ballot harvesting. So it is a little strange that all of a sudden Republicans are using supportive language regarding ballot harvesting in order to defend the illegal maneuver that they just did in California. In fact, Donald Trump had previously tweeted this: "Get rid of ballot harvesting. It is rampant with fraud. The USA must have voter ID, the only way to get an honest count." Of course, he votes by mail. And I've said this on the show before. Ballot harvesting happens in many parts of the country for people who are elderly, who are ill, who are immobile, and have difficulty voting as a result. So they'll have a designated individual, collect their ballots and submit it. But there is a process in place. It is regulated in order to prevent fraud, which is why there is absolutely no evidence of voter fraud related to ballot harvesting.
So in this case, if you're wondering why the hell are they doing it in California? Isn't Biden going to win easy? Aren't all the Democrats in California going to win easy? No, they're doing it in Kasparian and in Simi Valley. That is in one particular district, the 25th district. That is the district that the Republicans recently won with Mike Garcia beating Christy Smith. And so if you have Democrats picking up Democratic ballots, the Republicans picking up Republican ballots in CA 25 or anywhere else, and they're following the law, I got no problems with it. But you got Republicans in the 25th district picking up Democratic ballots or having them drop off in a place where the Republicans can control it? Oh, hell no. And they should find out who's doing it. If they're breaking the law, they should arrest them and put them in prison for a long time.
Thanks for watching The Young Turks, really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You've got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR. So those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member-only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that, all you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.